I am going to take you on a journey through time, beginning from the eve of mankind, leading up to the rise of the machines. To start, let's kick things off with a question. Do you think your personal devices know more about your emotional state than your own family? Please raise your hands if you agree. Thank you. That's kind of what I expected. I'd probably go with the hands up for that one as well. This question stems from a quote I saw about what our devices would be like by 2022 and is the inspiration behind my talk today. It really had me think deeply about how ingrained technology has become to our lives and how emotions have started to become interwoven with our day-to-day devices. Most of you wouldn't know, but long before my time at Atos, I was actually a keen archaeology student. The picture you can see here to the left is from my first ever archaeology dig, and it's the tiniest piece of flint ever from around 3000 BCE. Finding this was one of my proudest moments. Due to this unique time in my life, I'm always thinking about our ancestors, totally in awe at the discovery of fire, and the stark contrast to today with all the new tech in our reach, my new role at Atos. This brings us on to the topic of emotional intelligence and the rise of effective computing and emotion AI. This technology dates back to 1995 and is a branch of AI which tries to replicate emotions. According to the Harvard Business Review, this industry is set to be valued at $40 billion by the end of this year and will only grow exponentially from here on. Although emotional intelligence can mean slightly different things to different people, the short and sweet description I'll give is it is the ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions. Emotions are part of the way that we communicate as humans. Think about how you know when a friend is upset due to their facial expressions. You can tell when a client is annoyed due to their sharp tone, or you can tell when there's an awkward tension in the room after a slightly out-of-hand joke. Now that we've covered the boring part about definitions, let's travel back in time to around 120,000 years ago, where our ancestors were doing their best to compete against each other for survival. According to scientists, they believe emotions developed over time due to necessity, and that we have certain primal emotions because of our ancestors. Think of things like fear, where your fight or flight is almost automatically triggered. That is an emotion that has developed due to survival. In 1872, Charles Darwin, in his book The Expression of the Emotions in Man and Animals, also talks about this. He says that some emotions are innate and also universal across cultures. From this, later in the 1970s, Paul Ekman and Wallace V. Friedman further developed something called the facial action coding system. They broke down facial expressions into individual muscle movements and assigned them something called an action unit. Let's try some of these action units now. Let's go for a number 12, which is referred to as the lip corner puller, and then number 6, which is the cheek raiser. Let's see those smiles. Now, all of these different expressions are assigned different action units. The one we just did together is obviously happiness, shown beautifully by the cute quokka on the screen, but there are many others which cover emotions like sadness, disgust, and so on. Next time you pull one of these facial expressions, think about what emotion you could be conveying to other people. Now, moving on to the present day, we now have AI which can detect these facial expressions and can be even more accurate than humans at understanding what they mean. And I will come on to this a bit later on when I talk about how AI can detect your emotional state in the virtual world. Next up is the discussion about humanized machines. Sophia the robot here was developed in Hong Kong and activated in 2016. She can display more than 50 different human facial expressions and also some gestures, and for me is a perfect example of how far we have really come in this field. If you haven't seen Sophia before, then I have a quick clip here which I think demonstrates her personality really well.
Sure. Okay, let's get this game going. Show me your hand to start. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Sophia here jokes about how humans believe that machines will take over the world. In pop culture, we have seen countless humanized machines depicted over the years. one of which is the Terminator, where he has a threat detection system which assesses the emotions of those he interacts with, usually whilst actually being a threat to them himself. Similarly, we have C-3PO, who can detect sarcasm from all alien species he encounters. In Ex Machina, it is unclear to the audience whether Ava is reading human emotions and then manipulating them for her own gain. Ava doesn't look too dissimilar to Sophia the robot here. So I can understand if your only interaction with this type of technology is through films, book, and TV, then more often than not, you'll fear this type of technology. Maybe with the exception of C-3PO or Wally. Definitely not Wally. With any life-changing technology, naturally, we would fear the repercussions. We may wonder if this technology is intrusive. What about bias in AI? How will this data be used? Although these fears are valid, I stand firm that this technology is not scary, but is fundamental in our new virtually reliant world. Emotion AI has the ability to enhance our lives if used correctly. To me, this is another key step in our evolution as a species, and much of our reality already has implemented this technology without us even appreciating its existence. Let's go through some of these now. In the world of business, we already have customer service chatbots, which can intelligently reroute customers depending on their query. It's often a complaint from customers that they want to talk to a real human and that they seek empathy for their problems. Do you think you could tell the difference between a virtual agent and a human? Amelia is the leading virtual agent in this field, and she's already being utilised across many different industries. One company reported that Amelia's Net Promoter Score was actually 16 points higher than her human colleagues. Talking to customer service, to virtual agents like Amelia is our future. In AtosX's own CX team, they have started using a door board, an emotion AI system, which takes your customer surveys and transforms this data so that you can take action on pain points. Next time you write a scathing review, technology like this could be running in the background and could be fundamental in enhancing your customer experience for the future. All of these different possibilities in business have the chance to boost business profits and efficiency overall, and generally make our customers much happier. To escape the business world for a sec, in our own personal lives, this technology could revolutionise many aspects of our day-to-day routines. It could really empower individuals who are neurodivergent and struggle with interpreting emotions. In online learning, Intel and Classroom Technologies have developed a system which can assess students' facial expressions, which can detect whether they are bored, distracted, or confused, and they aim to enhance children's online learning experience. We can only imagine how impactful this would have been during the pandemic, when most of our learning was done virtually. There are also many aspects of this technology which could revolutionise the medical industry. Imagine a world where diseases such as dementia and depression were caught early just by using our phones. Apple's Health app already has the ability for you to privately share health and wellness data. They are working with the company Biogen to see if sensitive data like typing metrics and facial expressions could signal mental health concerns. Maybe in this regard, your phone really could be a gateway into your inner emotional state. How empowered do you think you would feel knowing that your phone could alert you to your own behaviour? This could help prevent manic episodes, help you with panic attacks, and generally make you more conscious of your own mental state of being. Similarly, Humour, who are an Atos partner, have developed a digital biomarker that can detect mental state with typing by voice. They aim to have a proactive approach to healthcare instead of reactive. We all know that early diagnosis of mental health is key to better treatment possibilities, and the effects of such technology could be truly groundbreaking. So, although we may fear the ideas that machines are trying to become more human, I believe the nuances of human emotion are far too complex for us to ever fully automate. Even so, I believe that machines have the ability to enhance our lives if used correctly. This brings us back to my question at the start. Do you think your personal devices know more about your emotional state than your own family? We have already covered the amazing ways this technology has developed, and we can only imagine how much more there is to come. In the future, this could mean your phone could recommend you visits to the doctor, your devices could talk back to you like a friend when you need it most, or we might have pets as much more part in our lives as a family dog. So I'm envious of the archaeologists of the future who'll get to see the full timeline emotion AI plays in our lives and how it will become more a reality than it already is. And I'm excited to see what's coming next. Thank you.